Always a pleasure to talk to you, Woody. And as I was saying, a fantastic script. I'm sure it read like that. How much does it also give you leeway for a story arc for your character as well when it's so well written?
Well, I feel like, particularly with Martin, because he's such a phenomenal writer, there's very little you ever want to change, and that the character was pretty much fully formed on the page, you know what I mean? So I didn't, like a lot of times I'll affect some changes script-wise or, blocking, Martin is very particular about his image of what's, he has really a well-formed image of what he wants to do. And so I just roll with that and trust Martin.
What really worked is the fact that it's not over-sentimental cliche, even in the case of your character who's suffering from an extreme medical condition. The tone is quite sober, and I think that works very well. It makes it very relatable. Did you enjoy that aspect?
Yeah. I mean, I think that's one of the great things about Martin. He does, in every piece he's ever written, I think, there's this juxtaposition of the dark and the light, and somehow the way they intersect ends up being kind of a perfect mixture. There's times like when I read The Pillow Man, which he offered me and I turned it down saying, I think finally the darkness has overcome the light. And then I went and saw it on Broadway and I was like, why didn't I do this play? It's phenomenal. And but I do think he doesn't sentimentalize, and I think if he did, it would really wound the piece.
And it's not only one-dimensional. It could have been like a murder story, a whodunit, but there's so many innuendos and messages about social acceptance, etc. Does that enrich the experience as well when you are addressing several themes within one storytelling?
Yeah, I think that's what makes Martin so great. He tackles so many issues. His humor is very he's insulting everybody, and you're kind of loving it, And none of it is ever one-dimensional, or it's very. There's a lot of themes. There's a lot of issues. There's a lot of things that I think people relate to, just your average person kind of relates to something, or one of the characters. And then the lead character, Francis, who's amazing in this, I think is kind of a great role model for women, and which I think it's cool that Martin did this, making her central, because he was saying his films have been much more male-dominated, and he really wanted to have a strong, powerful woman in the lead.
She's quite terrific, and everybody was talking about how much they enjoyed working with you. How much do you enjoy it, like a good game of sports, to be surrounded by good actors, because it does elevate the quality of acting altogether?
Well, I love it. I mean, I really, I think this is, maybe one of the best jobs you could have. But when you get to have this job and you get to go in the ring, so to speak, with someone like Francis or Sam, man, does it feel great. It just, you truly enjoy your work, Well, it's not work, it's play.
It's play, exactly. That's what you call it, playing a role.
Very, very lucky. Yeah.
With great roles that you've had in the past, and I'm sure a lot of great ones coming, do you know what now sparks your fire? Do you have an immediate knowledge of a role being good for you and something that you would want to do and enjoy doing, playing?
I like characters where I get to be funny. This one was actually, I was more the dramatic relief in this comedy. But I like characters where I get to make people laugh. I never tire of, at least trying to do that. And I also like them where they have an edge.
How much do you enjoy Oscar buzz around the films that you're part of? This one certainly has it already. What do you think awards bring to a film?
I try not to ponder that stuff.
Yeah, it's true. let's not ponder, it's too early, although I'm rooting for it. Talk about, presenting the film in Venice. What makes it so special as a festival and as a structure?
Well, I don't know. Venice is just one of the most beautiful cities in the world. I love the Italians. I spend a lot of time in Italy, as it happens, because I go to the Amalfi Coast probably every other year for the past maybe 20 years. So, but I finally decided to learn the language and to maybe spend more time here, like, a couple months out of the year, kind of living partly here and partly in Maui.